Welcome to EU Saturday in week 2. I'm Diem Brandon. This is Adanas. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, I guess. If you're European, it's like 1,000 o'clock over there.
Wherever. Australia as well. I'm pretty sure they're like pretty early into the AMs.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Rough life.
That was a hard trip, man.
Sorry, Hughes. That was really bad. That was so going to the Australian regionals last year. Brandon and I went to help cast it, and it was the first flight was delayed, right?
Yeah.
And so we waited a couple hours. Then we got on a 5-hour flight to LA. And they held that plane because our first one was delayed. So we got no break. So we immediately get off the 5-hour flight onto a 14.5-hour flight. And it was like 31 hours from leaving my house to the hotel.
It was pretty fun, though. And then we got there, and it was like 1,000,000 o'clock at night, and we had no idea what was going on.
I don't know.
But let's look at Europe here. Standings on the board. You're going to see... obviously, Panthera on top. The world champions continue their reign of terror. The leftovers at 3-3. We'll be checking out Cringe Crew to start the day off today, and they're 2-0 standing, so they have a chance to put themselves over leftovers, but to do it, they're going to have to go through Fnatic.
You know, this is odd to me, right? Because you look at the bottom, Torpedo and Hungry for More, and these were the two teams that we kind of expected to sit in the middle of the pack and could maybe contend for 4th, maybe even contend for DreamHack, depending on how they grew throughout the season. But honestly, it's leftovers and Cringe Crew for me that are sitting at the middle of the pack, and how good they look. Cringe Crew really handling Hungry for More yesterday, although both of these teams, Leftovers and Cringe Crew, were able to handle Hungry for More, so we'll have to see how they face up against Fnatic, who has been struggling.
Dude, I'm a Cringe Crew fan. Like, tried and true. I love watching Zashu play. I absolutely have always loved Repikas play. I mean, the guy is a meta leader. He is a theory crafter, and he is the person this team needed to get them into shape. Let's see if they can do it. Fnatic, almost world champions at one point, now have to deal with the young blood. Let's see it.
Fnatic going to be order side. So for me, a lot of this game is going to come down to Jifffy, like I think it has been for the first 2 sets. Get him on something he's comfortable with. The Thors haven't been working. He was actually on a Kali coming into the last game against, I believe it was Paradigm he faced off against, and while it was better, while he had a better showing, he didn't hard carry the game.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? If you pick Kali, it doesn't matter where you put it. At 40 minutes, if you are the Kali player, it is on your shoulders to carry the game. If you are not hard carrying, you are not playing exactly how you should.
So check out Khepri here. 90% ban rate, 10% pick, all the way through. Has been a part of every single game so far. And for the 10% pick, 100% win ratio as Neath gets taken away.
Khepri also having a recent nerf in the 3.5 patch coming in this at the start of this week, so a little bit less base health. I believe it's
40, 50?
I thought it was like near 100.
No, it was like 510 or something to 460 or something.
Right, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought, but a little bit easier to gank early game.
Ryujin gets taken away. Still some top tier mages on the board. Looking at, of course, Janus, Soul, Isis. Possibly
Kali.
This should be a Kali pick. I mean, realistically, she is close to an untouchable god at this stage of the game. But Chronos is a smart pick. I mean, Zyrhoes was the first Grandmasters player this season, and he did it off of the back of this god.
It was, you actually saw him post a picture of his recently played gods, and it was all Chronos, and it was like 90% win rate. Like, Chronos has become a top tier god. More importantly, though, this is also taking it away from Shaggyshenk, who had a phenomenal showing with it just yesterday.
Cringe Crew going to take Isis and Soul. Okay, so answering back with that magic damage. Fnatic to answer here, probably going to grab Hou-Yi. I would imagine is going to get picked up here.
Hou-Yi has been the top pick for the Hunter role, especially with the recent Chiron nerfs.
I want to see Artemis, man. I think Artemis might be the truth right now, dude.
I don't know if teams are, ready to play him though. Like I agree, or her, excuse me. I agree that Artemis has potential in this meta, but I don't think Hunters have been playing her.
That's true.
And Golden Bow, just recently buffed, does help with their clear, but it's really good.
It's not to mention she has crit in her passive, so she has 25 crit out of the gate. It's going to be Nasha and Athena. Okay, so we were way off going for the Hunter here.
It's Europe, man. You don't know ever. Nasha actually a top pick in Europe right now.
Right, but the issue here is Jifffy has been mechanically failing on Kali and Thor, and he's going to take one of the most mechanically ridiculous gods in the game. It's going to be Nasha.
If you're not feeling yourself, you cannot play Nasha.
This is the feel yourself god.
It's the same with Nox.
Yeah, this is the feel yourself guy. You have to hit those raw ults. You got to be janky. You got to go for all kinds of baits. This is a mental, cerebral god that you need to have in your god pool if you want to play at top level. I always look at DareToCare. DareToCare is the feel yourself player. He's just like, I'm going to make a play here.
Thanatos as well.
Exactly.
I always go back to it. I'm like, Naja, the only player I've ever seen it work in a critical moment, right? When it's like all on the line and you pick a Naja, the only one I've ever seen make it work is DareToCare.
Well,
and he gets a target band away from it as well.
Recently. I mean, like, old Naja, right?
Okay, we're not. That was OP. Bacchus going to be picked up for Cringe Crew. Second round of bans coming through. Ho-You taken away by Cringe Crew as well. And Fnatic, they're going to be targeting junglers, it seems, locking out a Hun Bats.
And Cringe Crew really taking shots at Hunters. They've already taken 3 off the board. They grabbed Soul already. This could be a Chronos. I mean, it's most likely going to Zyrhoes, but it could wind up going to Realzx. Thor getting taken away. Thor Humbots. Is Kali still available against Repikas?
I'm not exactly sure. I mean, it is available. But I'm really surprised that we're not seeing this. And honestly, this is a very good pairing for Cringe Crew to play a Kali. They have the Isis for very high pressure in the mid lane. They have the Soul for high pressure in the dual lane. Bacchus as well, a lot of potential. Bellona as well, going to be picked up for the solo lane. So really only Osiris can match her in lane.
What's amazing about this is Bellona is not really an auto attacker. Soul is not really an auto attacker. So Kali is in a very unique position to not get hit by 3 mid guardian males and a Witchblade. Like this is actually a brilliant comp for Kali to be on, and I don't think there could be a better shape to him.
Janus going to be picked up, meaning Chronos is going to Realzx more than likely. But this is the thing, Cringe Crew, they can pick Bellona in this situation because, I mean, Fnatic, they don't have, they already have their jungler.
Right.
And also Bellona is the biggest counter to Kali. That Bellona was the perfect pick if they are setting up for Repikas Kali.
If this is anything but Kali, I'm going to be terribly disappointed.
What else would he pick, honestly? Like, it's just the perfect pick in this situation.
Artemis. We talked about this. She's really good.
No. This is jungle, Brandon.
Jungle Soul, but Artemis.
I actually wonder how Hunters, how good Hunters Clear are right now
with
in the
jungle.
Bow? Yeah.
I mean, you have to have Bumbas though.
Hey man,
it's Artemis.
We're getting trolled. We're getting trolled.
Guan Yu gets locked in. Okay, so very, very tanky. Wow. Okay.
Europe, not the biggest fan of Kali, it seems. Although, I'm assuming they haven't been watching EmilZy's games.
I mean, let's be real though. Guan is not a joke.
Guan's so good right now.
Did you see yesterday what Diem did to poor Xaylia? Oh. Just like, oh my god.
Not only that, Badja actually playing it as well. I think topping the healing so far, 34,000 in a game.
Oh my god.
And it wasn't even like a 60-minute game like we've seen in Europe. It was like 45 minutes.
So it's going to be Bellona jungle. Repi's going to be taking this. We saw him do this a lot in Season 2. And Zashu's going to be taking Guan Yu. I really like Guan Yu into tier. Just because Guan Yu can't be knocked back by the Fearless, so he has wave control. He can heal his own creeps, which reduces the effect of the Fearless power cleave. He has a heal to match up almost as well as the power cleave. I mean, this is a very good pick. In the end game, I don't think anyone's going to argue that Guan has a much bigger advantage and a much bigger amount of control than, of course, Tier will.
It's a different style of play, right? The Guan Yu, if you're going for that sustained damage, you're going to basically win, right? If you can start a fight, get a kill, and survive, you're going to heal up back to full, and you just start sieging. It's so deadly. Isis as well, and the Bellona ult, right? 50 all protections for your team. This is a very defensive team comp. You cannot really dive into Cringe Crew, and that's going to be the hardest part for Jifffy specifically. How is he getting into this?
Yeah, and they not only is Fnatic going to have a hard time initiating, of course they do have that Athena to start, but Bacchus is one of the best counter initiators in the game because if Athena runs in, he just belly flops onto any target who's in position to follow up. This is a really strongly drafted comp. But then again, you know, let's talk a little bit about Fnatic. If maniaKK finds one good Fearless in the end game on a person who doesn't hit beats fast enough, it's done.
It's Isis and Soul. Those are the two gods that he's going to be looking to zone out and at least draw the attention of EmilZy and Repikas. Ideally, Fnatic are going to want to like split the team fight. A lot of aggression coming out from Shaggyshenk, hitting a lot of his autos.
Wow,
he looked so good yesterday. I believe he was 19 kills, 2 deaths over his set, both on mages. Yeah, he played Soul and Chronos.
Oh my god. I didn't realize it was that dominant.
I mean, he's looking real good. Maybe we might see Coast Shaggy return.
And okay, so the stop time was used to help clear the wave. They're going to lose their boars here. Why are the boars up?
So actually, they started off on the red buff and then went over to the left-hand side Harpies. It seemed like something new Fnatic wanted to try or something they've been experimenting with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, Cringe Crew just have the dominant dual lane, which means the boars are free. Something I don't know if they calculated or if they just expected to have the early advantage in the lane because going that red to mid Harpies would allow them to get to lane and get control faster.
BigManTingz slightly out of position here, taking some damage. Shaggy, of course, getting that heat online, slowed from the Stellar Burst. They're going to have to give this one up, but a lot of damage done.
Shell forced out at 1:40. BigManTingz is going to be able to heal up. He's got one more health potion, so that's about 500 health he'll be able to get back overall between those two. Mid lane, though, I mean, it's going to be really hard for Jifffy and Zyrhoes to really fight this. They're going to be on the back foot for the most of the early game. Isis, way too powerful. Bellona as well. If you get swung by a bludgeon, it hurts.
Zashu choosing to take some health off of maniaKK as opposed to some gold off the wave. He'll go back down, and maniaKK's going to know that, yeah, his boar has been taken. maniaKK shoving this is actually good, though, considering the fact that now Zashu can't get his own boar, but he should have went for the evade. He should have noticed that Zashu had come out of the jungle in a more precarious position than last time.
No one really looking for ganks early on. Repikas just hitting 5, Jifffy as well. We do have the global coming out from Janus, so Fnatic, if they really want to look for a gank, they could look to focus over on that soul lane. They have the Athena ult as well. Teleporting Jifffy over, they could really set up and honestly just kill Zashu before or just as he lands.
That's trouble, though, to me. I mean, really, you never want to try to gank a Guan Yu. He has multiple escape forms. He has an amazing heal. There's no weakening on the board. There's no any type of health, or rather healing reduction. Although, wow, maniaKK getting a huge win there as you see a lot of damage coming out to Zashu as he goes to the back line trying to clear up the archers. And he took 78, the final hit of the chain from maniaKK lands. Zashu does not find the return.
Getting a little handled so far in the soul lane. Zashu, though, has impressed me. On his last set, looks like we have an invade. Jifffy, or excuse me, EmilZy might want to fight this. Taunt coming out from BigManTingz, but the rest of Fnatic were on retreat. Oh, maniaKK going in deep. Zashu, he's dead.
That's definitely a kill. maniaKK, Portuguese powerhouse. He'll fall, and a return kill, but it's definitely in favor of Fnatic.
500 gold bounty going the way of maniaKK. The return gold, a little bit coming over to Cringe Crew. I'm assuming that's off the invade on why the gold is free. Yeah, you can see that massive spike and then a little bit of a dip. maniaKK, though, getting the better of Zashu right now. The tried and true soul laner going up against kind of this young gun who first made an appearance in the fall split last year. A little bit disappointed in his own play, but...
Big hit. Massive hit. I really would have liked to see an Eagles rally there.
Just up, down instantly.
He could have forced the beads, and we probably would have seen Zyrhoes escape, but the purification not getting burned means that Janus doesn't really suffer too much in that position. He hasn't taken his back yet. He'll be able to go back for free, get boots 2. He'll miss a very small amount. Actually, boots 2, never mind. He goes right into the Doom Orb.
No hesitation. Zyrhoes always the one who really just wants to fight you. He wants the damage, and he's been kind of the mainstay early game carry for Fnatic all last year. Everyone knows Realzx is the guy on Fnatic. When it goes to 30, 35, 40 minutes, Realzx is the one that's going to take over the game. Yep. But early, it's all about Zyrhoes controlling the pace and getting his team through. Now, when he was matched up against Captain Twig was a very passive jungler. Didn't want to force anything, whereas Zyrhoes a lot of times wanted to fight, wanted to kind of be that guy that can win games on his own, not have to rely on Realzx. Now, coming in, Jifffy was supposed to be this very aggressive jungler, right? An adapting style player. However, we have not seen that. We've seen him hip to hip with Zyrhoes and just making zero impact on the game.
And what's crazy is you'll see a lot of the top players, or let's talk about EmilZy here, in a lot of trouble. We're going to get a pretty good follow-up here as he goes through the portal. Unstable Vortex should be available again in a second. EmilZy pretty low, might be able to get out of this through space and time, just barely missing.
That was a miscommunication from Fnatic. You could actually see the second that the land comes through Realzx, he's using the time rift to try and secure the kill, but actually EmilZy drops through the Janus portal.
Yeah.
And they burned so many abilities that were all missed because he fell under the Janus portal. That was a dropped kill from Fnatic.
Though, I do want to give credit to Fnatic here for their picks and bans phase, because the early Chronos pick was just beyond intelligent. Not only is it taking it away from Shaggy, like you said, who had an incredible game, but this is the go-to god for Zero. So they think to themselves, okay, we have to ban hunters. We don't have to ban mages. We'll be fine. They take away multiple hunters in the second ban phase, and then out comes Janus. And, you know, for those of you who are just joining us in Season 3, it seems like a normal picks bans phase, but Janus was the go-to character for Zyrhoes in Season 2, so he was guaranteed a top-tier top-tier pick, and then Realzx was guaranteed a top-tier pick, while also screwing over the picks and bans phase for Cringe Crew. It was incredible. It was really smart stuff.
The flex picks are real, right? That was kind of the neath that we saw coming out from
I'm sorry, what'd you say? They're
2.
for Realzx? What?
They're Brandon.
Well, he got the Chronos.
Okay. I dealt with F. yesterday. You get the 1.
All right.
You get the 1.
I'm going to take the 1.
Yeah, no, flex picks, a very important thing in the picks and bans phase. We saw it a lot last year, most notably with Neath, where it was kind of, where's she going? Middle lane, sometimes even solo, sometimes duo, in that Heartseeker meta, and it really throws off your opponents there. They have no idea what you're planning. And the biggest part of that is you don't even know what you're planning, right? It's like, let's get a couple picks deeper. Okay, they banned Hunters.
Yeah.
All right, we can put this Chronos now in that Hunter position, allow Realzx to have that, and then Janus to be a flavor pick coming out for Zyrhoes, although also a top-tier guy, to be fair as well.
Yeah, yes, it is. 7 minutes in, we're 1-1 still. Fnatic versus Cringe Crew, game 1. Remember, these are 2-game sets, not best of, so we're just trying to see a record here going into DreamHack. Top 3 from each region will find themselves playing for a large prize pool over in Sweden.
And for me, Fnatic have to 2-0 this.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
I mean, they're 1-3.
They're 1-3. And their next match is up against Panthera,
which is a loss.
They're losing. You saw Paradigm, who have been looking phenomenal so far, just get manhandled.
They look like
in
amateurs,
game 2.
and they're not. Like all 5 of
good.
the players on Paradigm are superstars. They're brilliant players. They are geniuses of not only the meta but execution, and they were made to look like amateurs.
That just has to feel bad going up against them. Middle lane, BigManTingz in a little bit of trouble, and a lot of trouble actually.
He's actually might be able to get out of here. A really good play by Zyrhoes, getting that portal down. No, BigManTingz has a lot to deal with out of nowhere, though. Comes maniaKK. EmilZy taking some damage, a return, and a raw ult, but blocked. As we're going to see another attempt, but it's a rather tanky Guan that takes the brunt of the damage.
Jifffy in a lot of trouble. Zashu on the horse looking for 2. There's the stun. Jifffy is going to pop Purification. Zashu went a little bit too far under towers. Zyrhoes coming up with a big snipe. Point blank.
There was just no follow-up. I don't know who made the call there. Arrow did not have his ultimate anymore. He used it to try to burn down BigManTingz. All 5 members now of Fnatic are standing strong in this mid lane. It's possible they make an attempt at the Gold Fury, but we see a lot of people suffering on the right side as we see Janus backing with no mana, and it looks like maniaKK retreating right back to lane.
So just a kill on the board after an 8-player fight, basically, as we saw a lot of rotations. And a good job from both teams, honestly, on initiating, reinitiating, backing off, resetting when they got in an awkward spot. And it was just, it seems, Zashu a little bit too trigger-happy trying to find the kill. By the way, I'm calling it a no-scope from now on.
For what?
If you point blank Janus ult, it's a no-scope.
That's not a no-scope.
I don't care.
That's not what that means.
I was like, the snipe connects, and I'm like, well, is it really a snipe if it's point blank?
See, I would say Neath gets a no-scope if she auto-fires the Whirlweaver. That's a no-scope.
That'd be pretty dirty.
She didn't scope it down. She just shot.
Just like the bum-bum.
2-1, Fnatic with an early lead over the Cringe Crew in at least score for kills. I mean, we go to the graphs, you'll notice a slight advantage still for the Cringe Crew.
Zashu taking a lot of poke from the mages. He's going to have to Eagle Rally out. Jifffy just off the mark on the artillery stash. But yeah, you can see on the graphs there, not much of a difference on either side. 51 experience, 80 gold. This is a dead even game.
In the late game, I think there is definitely an advantage here for Fnatic, given the fact that Chronos versus Soul. Chronos is going to do a bit more damage.
Janus as well.
Yeah.
Janus able to weave in and out of these fights.
Oh, in some trouble here is Arrow. That's a guaranteed kill. Another kill on the board for Fnatic. It's going to be 3-1. Very smart play. Very smart play.
Finally, the damage comes out, and honestly, this is the power of Doom War. We didn't really talk about it. We said we've seen a lot of these mages go into the Dynasty Plate Helm instead of the Doom War, which is really prevalent at the start of Season 3. But it looks like Fnatic, with that pick, they're going to be looking for this Gold Fury. And
I didn't realize that was maniaKK coming in. I thought that was Zashu, but he actually teleported somewhere completely different. He went to lane. A early Gold Fury for Fnatic brings finally a gold lead in their name for a 3-1 score. It's going to be about 1,700.
The biggest thing for me there is that Cringe Crew didn't fight that. There's a lot of teams, even when they're a man down, who try and defend Gold Furies when it's almost guaranteed death, right?
Yeah.
Even if they were able to successfully steal away, which is an incredibly low chance, they run the risk of then losing multiple players, losing their jungle, losing towers. It is not worth the risk, and I like that discipline coming out from Cringe Crew. There are very few teams who would be able to just give that up.
It's very unlike Europe as a whole.
Yes.
Europeans love their objectives, very objective-focused, and there are very few North American teams that I think as well would do that, but when I think about it, I think Enemy, usually tries to give that up, and I definitely think Luminosity.
Yeah, I was
Andy
gonna say
always
that as
says,
well.
not worth it, gonna go get my speed, gonna go get my blue, I'm out of here.
More importantly, what I see from Luminosity, though, and this is them being a world champion team coming out of Season 1, the core of that group is they'll actually go and invade, right? They'll be like, we'll give this up, let's go push a tower in the right-hand side, let's group up and steal their buffs, let's steal their back RPs, let's get whatever we can without fighting at that Gold Fury.
Their defense, it really is what it is. It's aggressive defense. How can we protect our lead or protect this score from not degrading too much after losing this Gold Fury? And it's something that not a lot of teams do. I think it was their ticket to success in Season 1. Maybe not as much in Season 2. Although their first game against Panthera, you know, the world champions, their defense
that was it. That was aggressive defense. It was, they got down a Gold Fury and 4 kills early. Left-hand side, though.
What are they doing?
Looks like a gank tip. It's EmilZy baited as Realzx is going to rewind.
That was weird. Okay, they're going on EmilZy here. I mean, EmilZy doesn't really have a lot.
Janus ult on top
really
as well.
deep Janus ult. I like that a lot. And
just completely cut off. Zyrhoes going to find that, but Repikas, he's rotated as well. Eagles rally, looking for BigManTingz. Shell is popped, and Jiffy's going to turn it around, stun him. There's the disarm, and now Cringe Crew trying to force something. Going to be forced back, but EmilZy completely baited. Not exactly sure if the rewind was necessary there, but
absolutely was not.
Worried about getting 100 to 0'd between
Possibly,
Soul Bacchus. That it's probably close to being able to do that. The pin boots are online for the Bacchus, something you always have to be scared of.
And to be fair, it's unlikely that we're going to see him need that in the foreseeable future. On top of the fact that burning both Purification and Sanctuary, a lot longer cooldowns than just getting that one thing out of the way.
maniaKK continuing to control Zashu, going to find the first tower of this match. 13 minutes in, checks his boars, not going to be up. Fire Elementals will be up in a few seconds, and honestly, Zashu right now 1-2-0. maniaKK getting the better of him, about an 800 direct gold lead already.
And 2,500 gold across the board at this stage of the game is pretty important, especially on a team that has been notably behind throughout most of their games. The Cringe Crew are in a unique opportunity to play defense against a team that has been notably very weak so far this season. I want to see what Fnatic does. Like, is Jifffy going to continue landing these ultimates? I mean, he's been doing an amazing job so far, much different than what we saw on the Thor.
And to be fair on Jifffy, this guy is a superstar in scrims.
Yeah, and in ranked.
He just has not been able to translate it over into the SPL. And that's something that, you know, not a lot of people understand, the nerves that come out. And the worst part is that he had 2 very bad sets to begin with. So the nerves are even more on top of that. Because we take a look, the most notable player I can think of that could never translate it was Vesalius on Elevate last year.
God, yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he was the best hunter in the world in scrims, but he was doing phenomenal. He was soloing some of the best players that they were able to scrim and everything. But coming into the SPL, he could not perform.
Multiple ADCs in the North American Pro League were saying that Vesalius was better than him, or better than whoever was speaking.
Yeah, I mean, outside of like the top hunt, right, outside of like a Snoopy and Barracuda, everyone was saying.
Everyone thought that this kid was a top 3 superstar, and every time he went into the SPL, he looked like he had never played. He hadn't played the game in a month. And for me, that's the same thing with Jifffy. He has missed more of his Thorals than he has hit, which is
that's bad,
unacceptable at this level. But so far, his Nasha has been pretty damn incredible. Has he missed an ult yet?
Not yet, no. A lot of it was set up and kind of planned. Ganks wasn't kind of in the middle of the fight. maniaKK just going to heal up. And this is the worst thing about watching the 2 warriors is when the 2 warriors can heal.
No, it's really close.
Zashu. Oh,
see, look how much damage he just took.
It's
There's
okay.
no way
No,
he'll get
wait.
that health back.
There. Oh, no. See, now maniaKK is actually, he got poked out, so no way he gets it back.
No, it's fine. Hey,
all right,
conviction.
All right, 1 more second.
And the wave is almost
left-hand
dead.
side actually looks like a fight's breaking out.
Oh, Jifffy in some trouble here. Repikas slightly off the mark. Bludgeon going to be good, but a smart defensive ult from Jifffy gets him out of danger. They're going to also burn the Athena ult. maniaKK comes in, doing a lot of damage.
Just zoning out 5, it seems. Zashu not able to really make anything happen. Does have meditation, heals up his team. Conviction as well, going to keep him fresh. And with Jifffy kind of at a half-life, and no ult, he can't really come back into this fight. No relics as well. And now Cringe Crew, because they have the siege, because they have that meditation and conviction from Guan, they're going to force this.
Now remember, Realz's ult is not a sieging ultimate, but if he uses it here, well, look at this guy. Zyrhoes with the kill on the Repi. He got caught from behind. No ward coverage around the Gold Fury, and another kill for Fnatic.
And Realz completely rewinding. This is him not taking a single risk. The whole idea of that engagement was him come in, burn everything, set it up for Zyrhoes, and then rewind. It doesn't matter if Cringe Crew immediately jump on him or not. He's not taking the risk, and now another Gold Fury attempted by Fnatic. maniaKK on zone.
Double taunt and a huge unstable vortex in the backline forces out multiple. Oh, but Zyrhoes, no trouble finding that over the wall. Another kill coming through. It's probably going to be another one as Zashu trying to get away. Jifffy activates the Flaming Spear. All the way to the backline goes maniaKK, and he finds it. Reels with the kill, 8-1, and likely the second Gold Fury of the game will belong to Fnatic, as you see a pretty decent gold lead.
Jifffy actually going to find Shaggy as well, trying to defend his own red buff. The setup is coming through. Sanctuary in time. Can he get into the corporeal form in time? Just barely. Repikas has come back, but honestly, Jifffy going for that kill has delayed the Gold Fury from Fnatic.
I want to see Repi go for this.
He has Eagle's Rally.
He has an advantage here, I think. If he hits a 3 or 4 man ultimate, which he can definitely do.
maniaKK's not zoning. He has no mana. He's going in.
Oh, but look at that perfect zoning so far from Tingz.
Oh, maniaKK could just die.
They reset it.
They had to.
They
don't know what they want.
had to.
It's so risky. Soul's here as well. Fnatic, they need to make a decision.
Repi's trying to go for it. A little bit too late. The bludgeon likely to be stopped here. Oh, no, it didn't. Wow, decent damage.
Nice.
Tingz a little bit late on that. I would have liked to see an armillary sash or something to stop that, but they still get it. 8-1 reads the score still. Let's go back to the graphs as now Cringe Crew way behind. 5,000 gold.
You can see Fnatic, though, trying to back, and Repikas not going to want it to happen, but the magical damage coming out from Fnatic is very strong, and Zyrhoes waste no time. Third snipe of the game. Nice no scope.
Point blank,
No
right
scope.
to the chest. There's nothing to do about that one. The lack of damage on this team in the mid game is really starting to come out. Zashu's getting focused too easily. The zoning from BigManTingz, this is a name that we haven't mentioned too much this game. The zoning has been really good.
Phenomenal, just always getting in the face of his opponents, not allowing them to walk in. And while they can walk around him, because all he has is a slow and a taunt that lasts for a couple of seconds, it's just the presence. It's just kind of the annoyance. He's in their face, just body blocking as well. There's not much they can do, and even when they come back in, it's a little bit too late. Fnatic, though, get that Gold Fury, and the magical damage for me is really what this game is about for Fnatic. Realzx and Zyrhoes are just shredding through, and everyone else on Fnatic is just the setup for the burst.
And there's been one death so far, and it's been maniaKK, who's top farm in the game, 1,000 gold over his opponent Zashu, and is going into a pretty unique build here. You see an early Pestilence, trying to stop that healing from Conviction,
like that.
Put a little bit of a dent, of course, in the Isis and the Soul and in the meditation that was picked up from Guan. I think it's a really smart play.
Everyone on Cringe Crew has some form of healing or self-healing outside of the Bacchus, and it's just 20%. It just helps. It just adds up. Very important. Now Fnatic, though, they have a lead. The first couple times the game's pretty close, but now they have a lead. You can see a lot of big items being completed. Obsidian Shard coming out from the Janus, who's already shredding through. Urchin is going to be started by maniaKK. Obsidian Shard as well for Realzx. I think now is kind of the moment where if they haven't forced anything yet, it's time to force something. You already see maniaKK just walking over, just trying to see if anyone gets out of position. Does have Blink as well.
Still 5,000 gold between them as we get a quiet lull into the game. Cringe Crew likely to play a lot more defensively at this stage as we get a more aggressive Fnatic going right for the red buff, cleaning it up very fast and smartly giving it over to Chronos.
And out. Red buff's already on Zyrhoes from their own, although it should be fading off here in a couple seconds, but right now is a very good power spike. If Fnatic want to force something, now's the time, but Cringe Crew, I think they know it. Pretty defensive positioning. Soul not leaving her tower, the 3-man group up in mid. Zashu is over and right, though. He has teleport, and it looks like Fnatic are trying to force something. EmilZy's poked.
EmilZy takes a lot of damage right off the bat, losing a third of his health. It's going to really shut down his front line. This is going to put a lot of pressure onto Bellona and Guan to control the front as they walk right in to take this down. 45% damage added to the auto attacks for Chronos as you see him laying waste to that tier 1.
One more hit, the tower will hold for now, but the group up. Zashu's rotated, and maniaKK actually, in the meantime, took a trip over to the Soul lane, so he's going to get some free farm, force Zashu back, and Fnatic trying to siege up, not successful on getting the tower, but really, it's all about Cringe Crew's mistakes. That's what they're looking for. They want someone to step out of position. They want to pick them because there's not a single person on Cringe Crew that could survive, I think, an all-in by Fnatic, except maybe Zashu.
Maybe.
And that's because he has a little bit of magical defense.
He's a level 18. He has actually a fair amount between the Hide of the Urchin and the Silver Talisman.
No stacks on it, though.
That's true. I mean, he just recently finished it, hasn't been able to fight with it. And even if he did, there hasn't been a kill in, I think, 15 minutes or so.
That's one thing that confuses me about Europe. It is very rare to see high-paced games. You don't see a lot of kills. Even wins sometimes, it's less than 20 kills on the board between both teams.
See,
but they still love the Urchin.
For me, what confuses me about Europe is liters versus gallons. That's a lot of money for gas, dude.
That is. That's incredible.
I thought it was cheap. It said like $1.24 or €1.24. I'm like,
yeah,
Bart, look how cheap this is. He goes,
that's
because
everyone
bro.
walks in Europe. That's why we're so overweight. You know, I could see you packing on some pounds.
Nope, lost 15 in the last 6 months. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. I can lose that in like a week and a half if I really tried, but I got a lot more to lose.
maniaKK coming back over to defend the tower. Zashu, you'll see, level 19 now. Still no stacks on that Urchin. There has not been any fights.
We have a double stack coming out from Shaggyshenk as we look over at the
down.
quote-unquote hunter builds. It's Book of Thoth coming out from him. A lot of magical power coming out.
Can you feel it?
Warlocks?
It's coming. And then Hide of the Urchin.
He's already started Rod of the Hootie.
He's going to abandon. Next up, he's
the 30-minute. They saw the LG game. Left-hand side, EmilZy once again getting poked out. And these unstable vortexes, they are no joke.
But see, in the beginning, I talked about how the Chronos pick was so perfect because it baited this Janus pick so easily. I really think Arrow needed to pick Janus here. You can't let Zyrhoes get one of these gods, or it's just a win for Fnatic, it feels.
So the thing for me is that Cringe Crew had this ISIS, but we didn't really see them too aggressive. It was actually Fnatic that were forcing every early engagement. They didn't really utilize the ISIS. Left-hand side, though, a group up, Zyrhoes. He's just playing zone duty.
I love that. He stands there just blocking the path in. If they walk in to try to fight this, they're going to guarantee a perfect initiation with a half-health ISIS coming in.
Look at Jifffy zoning on his own, looking for anyone to come back in. Fnatic, they want to bait. They fight BigManTingz. He's got his ass charged, looking to taunt someone. Kero caught alone, but he's going to reset.
More damage going into the Gold Fury, sitting a little under half now as the team getting mildly zoned in the back. You can see a grouping. They're trying to rush this down. Another shot from Zyrhoes. This one misses as they reset the Gold Fury. So far, a successful offense. And they're going to try for EmilZy, it seems.
They're looking for Jifffy, actually. He's got the Athena ult on top of him, though, looking to turn the fight around. 5 members grouped up from Cringe Crew. They're going to back up. Sprint was popped, but no successful engagement. And you can see, just looking at the relics, a couple important ones down. I believe Curse was also used for Repikas.
A fair amount of relics, yeah. You actually see the teleport, the curse, sprint used. The health right now isn't the best on the side of Fnatic. You can notice maniaKK actually does not have his teleport,
mana is the big one
and his mana is just completely depleted. I mean, he has like 2 shots left.
I don't think he wants to back, though. He's actually going... Okay, there it is. maniaKK recognizing that. He's going to back Fnatic, though. Trying to bait the Gold Fury.
Ooh.
You can see they kind of wanted to commit if Fnatic or Cringe Crew were in an awkward spot, but...
Cringe Crew most definitely had vision there. This shouldn't be too much trouble, but another wasted relic. Arrow did not need to burn.
Portal to keep Zashu at bay, helping BigManTingz come out.
That's Kero.
What did I say, Arrow?
His name is Arrow. Why is it Kero?
No, it's actually Kero. He was like the you know when Tolly became Phoenix?
No.
So Arrow, at the end of Season 2, said, I'm going to be reborn, and quit London Conspiracy. Okay. And so he quit London Conspiracy for Cringe Crew, a.k.a. the same team.
And now he's Kero.
And now he's Kero.
I have not noticed. Has it been like this the whole season?
Yeah.
I have not noticed that once.
Have you cast? You didn't cast Cringe Crew yet. That's why.
I don't think so, no.
But I've been watching. Yeah, I don't know. I said that this morning as well. I was like, man, why is he named Kero? Arrow is so much better. Huh. I'm mad at some people's names this year. Scream, right? His name is Verizial. Scream is such a good name.
Scream is a good name.
Come on.
Verizial's not a good name. I told him that I'm calling him Scream all season.
I kind of want to as well. Group up from both teams, though. Fnatic still with the lead. Fresh off their backs, everyone full health and full mana. We'll see if they want to try and bait it again.
Bad call here. Or the 3 people on Cringe Crew go to the right side. EmilZy in some trouble. A beautiful blink by maniaKK locks him down. EmilZy in a weird spot, taking a fair amount of damage, and is not going to be available for this fight, at least not fully.
He's poked out. Shell was also burned, so not going to have that defensive utility. EmilZy, though, he's going to stand around as Guan rotates in, going to be able to keep him fresh with the heal. And Fnatic, They continue to bait. I like this decision from them, and they're not overcommitting, right? They're not trying to force anything that's not there. They're allowing Cringe Crew to come in. They want Cringe Crew to force the initiation. And Zyrhoes, though, looking for someone caught alone, and it is Kero.
Actually, Kero's completely out of position here. There is almost no escape possibility, but Jifffy missed the ultimate. Sanctuary has already been burned. Wow. Nice shot. Point blank again, right to the chest.
BigManTingz, though, he's rotated in, looking for a taunt, finds it. However, no one to follow up.
Chronos
and now,
taking the tower. Nice. A little bit of gold. maniaKK tanks it up. Realzx just takes it down, and they're going to turn to the Gold Fury again, it seems. Or at least this side of the map, this will be the third red buff stolen. And that died very fast.
Ooh, BigManTingz going to find a taunt onto EmilZy. No shell activated, and maniaKK pushes him out of position. But we're going to see a counter engage coming up from Zashu on the horse.
And that should be good. Yeah, Jifffy going to find the kill there as he comes in with the artillery sash. Kero very low. No relics left as Jifffy gets to be the target as well. And oh, wow. Blind shot over the wall. Zyrhoes finds it. Shaggyshenk finds Jifffy, however, in a return. Zashu just trying to stay alive, but I don't think he's got it.
maniaKK going to chase him under tower. He will heal up for now. Nice use of Tallow Assault, but a little bit too much magical damage coming out from the side of Fnatic. Zyrhoes managing to steal that kill away as well. These unstable vortexes have been so useful. I mean, this game for me is Fnatic 12-2, but it's the Zyrhoes show. It honestly is, right? Realzx is doing a good job. Jiffy's doing a good job. BigManTingz is doing a good job. And maniaKK is doing a good job of all setting up for the star of this game.
Yeah, but you know what? Zyrhoes has always been a star.
He has.
The big thing for me here is that BigManTingz and Jifffy have finally joined the rest of the pros in the Pro League.
Jiffy's not feeding. That's the important.
The argument that Jifffy was the weakest player in Europe,
for sure,
from just the pro games that we've seen so far, I think was a pretty short conversation. It was him, BigManTingz, and Variety kind of like leading that conversation. And this game shows that Jifffy doesn't belong on the bottom. The BigManTingz doesn't belong on the bottom of the conversation anymore. They're playing perfectly. BigManTingz is zoning amazingly. Jifffy has missed one ult so far, and it was a raw ult that he wouldn't have done any damage with because there was a Sanctuary active anyway. This has been a really good game for Fnatic, and it's been because their jungle and support have finally joined them on the top.
This is an important win if Fnatic can close it out. Really need to close out the second one as well. I talked about it earlier, Panthera, their next matchup. This is, I think, helping Jiffy's nerves. If he has a good game, all he needs is 1 or 2 good games to kind of break everything through.
Honestly, win or lose, I think Jiffy's going to have his best games against Panthera.
Really?
Just because of the fact that he knows how they play. They're the world champions, and going in, Fnatic's probably like, okay, there's a fair chance we don't win this, which means a lot of that pressure gets taken off of Jiffy's shoulders, and he just gets to play up into his opponents, and we can see what he's really made at.
I think the matchup against Paradigm, Fnatic really wanting to win that a little bit more, considering they 4-0'd them in the fall split, and are considered, or were considered, to kind of be that third-place team coming in. Jifffy, does he have? No, he doesn't have blink. I thought he was looking to blink over the wall.
He's waiting for the mid camps, and he was trying to get some of the experience that was getting cleared up, just trying to hold the space. I like that play.
Papa Zyrhoes, please share some golden experience with me.
But
I need to finish my crit.
He has a 3-level advantage over Repikas right now. You'll notice a 2-level advantage in mid, a level advantage in support as well. So across the board, if you're not level 20, there is an advantage for Fnatic.
So Cringe Crew, I do want to talk about Repikas. You took note of him 3 levels down, picking this Bellona, which I do like the style of this team comp where it's like very defensive oriented, very counter engage oriented. But the problem is that we haven't really
seen
at
this guy.
Finds him around the corner.
And that's 240. That's going to be close to 1,000 damage right there. And then immediately after burning both of his relics and then getting the kill, Zashu uses an ult defensively just to try to get Repi out of there. But, I mean, Jifffy sets up a beautiful kill as Zyrhoes just barely gets stunned out there.
He's going to be forced to use Sanctuary as he was playing an Assassin Mage there, surrounded by 4 players. Tier 2 going to go down, and Jifffy coming up with a big play, allowing Fnatic to find a further advantage. And the 4th or 5th red buff stolen
I think that's number
in a
4.
row?
I think that's number 4.
I'm mad if I'm on Cringe Crew. That's rough.
Not like Arrow could use it anyway.
I mean, Kero.
The guy is just getting, like, focused down.
It's hard with an Isis, especially considering they don't have a lot of hard peel for him. Left-hand side, Zashu.
And stun. Zashu, pretty resilient, though, able to walk out of that one.
Has a lot of protections, has Bulwark and Urchin and Breastplate of Valor online, so going to be hard to kill him.
But while that was happening, they take down the Tier 2. Let's go to the grass. 2 structures have fallen. Fnatic up by 11 kills. And, of course, their goalie is going to be huge.
I believe that is a 13,000, 13,500 gold lead, almost 19,000 experience. Fnatic level 20 across the board outside of BigManTingz. Cringe Crew just trying to close the gap in the next couple minutes before the Fire Giant is, because the Fire Giant more than likely going to be the next point of contention.
Yeah, they're grouping up over there, except for it looks like Zyrhoes, who's just kind of hanging out over on the left side, waiting for this red buff to spawn. You can see Zyrhoes 606 damage right now on the board, which means once he gets this red buff and Fire Giant, he'll be, I think, dangerously close to, well, a little, about 800?
718. It's like...
It's going to be about 800?
Yeah. Pretty sure that's closer to 700.
And he's not full build. You think that's going to be Magus? I hope he goes Deso.
I think it's going to go Spear of Desolation. We've seen actually a lot of mages start to transition into that being their last item. There's just so much raw pin on it, right? 20 flat pin, as well as oh my god, what did it change to? Because it changed like 800 times.
It's 120, 20,
okay,
and 8.
I thought it was 120. I was trying to make sure.
120,
and then if you get a kill, obviously you're able to reset your cooldowns by 8 seconds. And Zyrhoes, honestly, with his ult, could just one-shot someone.
And he's going to take a little bit of damage off of EmilZy. And a lot of damage off of Zashu. That was a tank that he just blew up.
Didn't look like it to me.
And right away goes right back to get ready for the Fire Giant. They burdened EmilZy with a lower health bar, took down Zashu in a heartbeat. I thought that was Arrow they killed.
My favorite strategy that Fnatic's been using all game is look for a player split off from the rest, and then use the Janus ult, cut them off, commit a lot of ultimates to it, but successfully get the kill, and then make it a numbers advantage, 5v4. You saw that just there, and Cringe Crew cannot defend that Fire Giant. They're going to be 4 members strong, trying to hold Fnatic at their Phoenix.
You know, it's been a depressing split for me so far to see Fnatic have fallen so far from grace, but I think this might be the beginning, the true beginning of Season 3 for them, as the team is really trying to come into their own now. You'll notice all 5 players have amazing kill-death ratios, with only 2 kills on the board so far for Cringe Crew, an 8-0-4, 0-0-11, 2-0-7 right now for the bottom side of the map, and wow. Second bird falls, 1 structure remains, and let's see Golden Hand here, just to show you how far ahead they are.
20 at 200 coming out.
They almost have 10K.
From Jifffy. Snipe coming through, and it connects onto Kero. No chance at life, and now Fnatic, they're going to rein in. They've taken out 2 Phoenixes, focusing on the last one and looking for kills.
EmilZy going to be forced to jump away here when that belly flop comes up. But a decent amount of damage coming out from Soul, but not enough. The third bird falls, and 1 objective remains on the map. If Fnatic wants it, they can go grab the Gold Fury. They're all going to be backing with close to 2,500 gold. And their advantage right now is well into the 10,000s. You're looking at close, after the Gold Fury, probably 12,000 gold advantage.
You can see Fnatic almost full build already, so this is just denying it from Cringe Crew. They already have the Golden Hand to finish their big items.
So watch this. Go back to the graphs for me. Check this out. They have a 20,000 gold lead right now, but 12,000 of that isn't on the board. They're about to spend 12,000. Granted, they might not be able to even spend that much money.
So Zyrhoes, he's got a 450 pot. See if anyone can afford a 3K pot. I think so. Oh, Realzx actually sold. I don't know what he sold, but he just bought a Spear of Desolation.
Okay.
And Zyrhoes finished his Spear of Desolation.
That looks like it could have been the Obsidian Shard.
It was the Obsidian Shard, that's correct. So just electing to go kind of the raw penetration coming out from the boots and the Spear of Desolation. That is 25. Or excuse me, 35.
Actually, can we actually hover on Chronos? I think this is important. He's got red. Look at that damage, 921.
What I want you to hover is
Polynomicon. Because a 921, 45% of that is going to be going to his auto attacks. And then, of course, 75% of that will be added to 1 auto attack.
Ow.
So
we saw Lassus, I think, pretty deep into a build similar.
It's like 80% of one person's health.
It was just auto dead, and it was like, I'm so sorry.
I had to run that replay back like 4 times because I didn't understand what I was seeing. Watch this. Watch this. Let's see him hit it. I want to see him hit it.
Oh, he's disarmed.
I hate you.
It's
Stupid Bellona breaking the game.
All Repikas' fault. I think he hit the minion, but we didn't see the damage numbers. I do want to see how much it does here. BigManTingz looking for the big taunt. He's going to find 4. Repikas looking to counter engage, and Zyrhoes sends the ult into the fight, actually doing a lot. And Cringe Crew, they're trying to hold, but it's going to be real tough for them. Titan already at half.
Yeah, and this is a quick rewind from Realzx to get him on the other side, get his stun back. He's actually just standing there. He gets his full build and starts throwing out GGs. And Fnatic, I think this is your welcome to the Smite Pro League as your Season 3 has finally started.
Jifffy, a very good game. And I think kind of it was that raw ult finding Kero around the corner that spelled it out for me. I saw some good plays, but that was the play that's like, okay, Jifffy finally feels comfortable.
I mean, the guy was playing like a professional for the first time this season, and I'm excited to see that. But the game didn't start off that way, which is so strange. The game started with looking like it was going to be for Cringe Crew. Let's go to the first blood. Before that, or rather after that, you noticed that there was 2 missed attempts at first blood. Now, maniaK's going to go all in here. He should have gotten this kill even faster. I'm surprised he took as much damage as he did, but he ran out of mana, couldn't heal himself. It winds up being a 1-for-1. Right in the beginning of the game, and then 2 kills dropped on the side of Fnatic. It seemed to me like we were going to see Cringe Crew come back.
They were looking real strong, but honestly for me, it was kind of the Zero show coming into the mid game. Most of the team on Fnatic was honestly about setting up this Janus. You can see 9-0 and 4 doesn't find a single death, and it's just the taunts into the unstable vortexes, into the snipes.
See, the best part about that, too, is he's watching Arrow, and he's watching the way he's using the Wind Gust, predicts exactly where he's going to be. He didn't just catch him. He didn't, get a lucky shot. That was a completely understood attempt at a kill, and he got it.
The positioning as well, so smart. He's always in the back of the line. Just there, avoids all the ult and actually walks into it after the pillar has landed. The second it lands, gets in position to find the last hit. I believe he kills Zashu here as well. Or comes close. He's the last hit. He steals it.
And he goes right in afterwards and just auto-attacks. He's like, I can help with this.
And Zyrhoes, you can't give him Janus.
And another shot. That was the big kill on the Kero.
1,000 damage. Did you see that?
Yeah, the 1,047 I think I saw.
Fnatic, though, looking real good against Cringe Crew, who had a pretty good showing yesterday against Hungry for More. So Hungry for More, though, sitting at the bottom, 0-4. So wins against them right now are kind of questionable on how on kind of telling where your team sits. So Cringe Crew, I think, was this a reality check? Did Fnatic kind of play up or played above their